They told me it was just a rumor, a fake corner of the dark web meant to scare newbies. An auction site, no drugs, no weapons, just human items. At first, the listings looked like bad jokes. Then the bids started climbing. And that's when I realized people weren't bidding for curiosity. They knew exactly what they were buying. I never planned to stay on the dark web that night. I was supposed to log off after 10 minutes, just enough time to skim a few forums and collect screenshots for a story that probably wasn't real. That's how most of these things start. Half curiosity, half boredom, zero expectations. The site didn't appear on any index. No directory mentioned it. I found the link buried in a reply to a 3-year-old forum post, written by a deleted user. The link itself was strange, short, clean, almost too simple. No warning signs, no edgy name, just a string of letters and numbers that meant nothing. When the page loaded, the first thing I noticed was how normal it looked. White background, black text, minimal design, no images, no animations. It could have passed for a basic e-commerce website from the early 2000s. At the top, a single line of text read, "Private auction, verified members only." Below it was a list. No descriptions at first glance. Just item numbers, countdown timers, and bids. Some auctions had already ended. Others had minutes left. What caught my attention wasn't the prices, it was the category filter on the side. Personal effects, medical, identity, biological. I clicked the first active listing. Item number 4472. Starting bid, 2.3 BTC. Time remaining, 18 minutes. The description was only 2 sentences long. Recovered from subject after termination. Preserved. Authentic. That was it. No explanation. No photos. No clarification. Yet there were already 7 bidders. All verified. All anonymous. Watching the bid history felt wrong, like seeing people casually raise their paddles at an auction house while pretending they weren't bidding on something human. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was roleplay. Maybe it was fake. The dark web thrives on shock value. But something about the wording bothered me. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't trying to scare anyone. It was clinical, boring, professional. I clicked another listing. Item number 4481. Category, identity. Starting bid, 1.1 BTC. Complete digital and physical identity set. Clean. No active investigations. That one had 15 bidders. The comments section was disabled, but there was a private messaging icon for sellers. I didn't click it. I just kept scrolling, feeling my stomach tighten with every new listing. One auction was labeled medical. The description mentioned compatibility percentages. Another referenced extraction timeline. None of them used the word human. None of them needed to. Then a notification popped up in the corner of the screen. You are viewing as guest. Some content is restricted. I should have closed the tab. That was the moment. But instead, I did what everyone does on the dark web when curiosity outweighs common sense. I looked for access. Buried in the footer was a small link. Verification requirements. The page explained the process in a disturbingly calm tone. Verification wasn't about money. It wasn't about reputation. It required proof of prior participation. Screenshots, transaction hashes, references. This wasn't a scam trying to trap random users. This was a closed ecosystem, and it had existed long enough to develop rules. I didn't qualify. I knew that, but I kept reading anyway. Halfway down the page was a warning. Unauthorized attempts to interfere with auctions will result in permanent removal. Not ban. Removal. Another listing refreshed automatically. Item number 4490. Category, personal effects. Current bid, 9.6 BTC. The description was longer this time. Belongings recovered intact. Includes clothing, accessories, and personal device. Device has not been wiped. That's when it hit me. They weren't selling body parts in the way horror stories exaggerate. They were selling evidence. Pieces of people. Proof that someone existed and no longer did. I realized the auction timers weren't aligned. Some ended at odd hours. Others were synchronized. That suggested sellers across different time zones, operating independently but under the same system. This wasn't one group. It was a marketplace. Another notification appeared, this time different. Seller online. A small green dot lit up next to one of the listings I had viewed too many times. Before I could stop myself, I clicked the message icon. The chat window opened instantly. No greeting, no introduction, just a single line. Interested or observing? I stared at the cursor blinking in the text box. My hands felt cold. I typed the safest lie I could think of. Research. The response came back almost immediately. Then don't stay long. I asked why, even though every instinct told me not to. Because observers tend to ask questions, the seller replied. And questions attract attention. I asked what kind of attention. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then reappeared. The kind that bids on you. My heart started racing. I told myself it was a scare tactic. Dark web sellers love intimidation. It's part of the culture. But before I could respond, another message appeared. You've been on item number 4490 for 6 minutes. I hadn't realized the site tracked that. You should refresh less, the seller added. It makes you visible. I closed the chat window and scrolled back to the listings, trying to slow my breathing. That's when I noticed something new. A category I hadn't seen before. Live. There was only one listing under it. Item number 4493. Auction begins in 4 minutes. No description. No starting bid. Just a warning banner beneath it. Live auctions cannot be paused. The page traffic counter jumped. Numbers started climbing rapidly. Guests weren't allowed in live auctions, but the listing was still visible. Why show it at all? The countdown reached 0. The listing updated. Subject secured. Auction active. The bid started at 0.5 BTC and jumped instantly to 3.0. I didn't see images. I didn't hear audio, but the implication was clear enough to make my skin crawl. This wasn't about objects recovered after something happened. This was about something happening now. A system message appeared at the top of the page. Latency detected. Please stabilize connection. I froze. Another message followed. Guest viewer identified. My screen flickered. For half a second, the clean white background was replaced by something darker, almost like a reflection. Then it snapped back. I slammed the browser closed. For a few seconds, my computer fan kept spinning louder than usual. My heart felt like it was trying to punch its way out of my chest. I checked my network monitor, unplugged my Ethernet cable, powered everything down. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, curiosity betrayed me again. I powered the system back on, telling myself I just wanted to confirm it was gone, that it had been taken down, that it was fake. The link still worked, but the site looked different. Where the auctions had been, there was now a single message. Market closed. Below it, a timestamp, and beneath that, one final line. Thank you for your participation. I checked the forums. The post where I found the link was gone. The user never existed. No one mentioned the site. No rumors. No warnings. It was like it had never been there. Except for one thing. Later that evening, while reviewing my browser logs, I noticed a file I didn't recognize. A cached thumbnail image, saved automatically. It was small, blurry, a photograph, a table, a numbered tag, and a personal device lying beside it. Unlocked.